I started recording too. Right. Okay, where are we?
Yes, I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, so I put my timer on for 5 minutes and okay, ready?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, hello, Mrs. Smith. Come in, have a seat, please. Right. So you're here for the blood test results, is that right?
Yes, it's that I'm here to know about my results.
Okay. Okay. So how have you been? Are you okay? Is everything good in general?
Yes, it's good, but I have the same problem that before
Right.
because I couldn't sleep well,
Oh,
and
I
I
see.
have to. Yes, I have to go bathroom
All
and
right.
2 or 3 times at
All
night.
all through the night. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's very annoying. Okay, Mrs. Smith, the test results are back, and this is the second test you have done. And you know, there is some good news and some bad news that I have to give you. Which one would you like to hear first?
I'm worried about the test these days. I
Okay.
think it is better to know about the bad news the first.
I see. Okay. Well, obviously, you had a suspicion that there's must be something in the blood test because the first one was abnormal, the second one was also abnormal, and it shows that you have diabetes, which means the high blood sugar, and that's something. Of course, there is some good news, which is there are treatments available for diabetes. But how much do you know about this? Have you heard of diabetes or uh,
Yes, I've had diabetes a little.
right?
Is that sugar diabetes
That's
like this?
that's right. That's something we call it diabetes. Yes, sweet diabetes or sugar diabetes. Well, basically, it means that the sugar levels in the blood go up, but this actually doesn't mean that you eat sugar. It's anything you eat basically converts or changes to sugar in your blood, and basically, it's an illness which is caused by not the insulin not working and the hormones not working properly. Um, so how much do you know about the management and the treatment for diabetes?
Doctor, I don't believe that I have diabetes
Right.
because I don't eat sugar or too much food or carbohydrate foods, and I'm, for example, I have a regular exercise
Right. Okay.
every day, and
Good.
I
Good.
don't believe that I.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, obviously, we can still do some blood tests for you, but usually this is the definition of diabetes by the World Health Organization, which says in two different occasions if your blood sugar is above 7 millimoles per liter, it means that you have diabetes. And the fact that you have to go to toilet so often at nights, it's also one of the symptoms, one of the problems with diabetes. And actually, this explains all the problems you have had for the last few months. In any case, if you are not convinced, we can test you again. But in the meantime, we also need to do some other blood tests to make sure that your cholesterol level is not too high. And we need to check your blood pressure, make sure your blood pressure is well controlled, is not high. Is that okay with you?
Yes, it's okay, but doctor, I think it is the diabetes is the long-term disease, and I should, for example, take some medications for a long time, and it is very serious disease. And you told me that I have a diabetes with two tests. Is that okay? That I think it is better that we wait for some times and get another test or a lot of, for example, and I
Right. Okay.
do some work.
I understand your concern, and I understand this is too abrupt, and this is too worrying for you. But we could do that, and we definitely will have more blood tests. But by definition, with these two readings, we can say that for sure you have diabetes, and then we need to start working towards helping you deal with it and helping your body to get rid of the extra sugar or actually to use it. And yes, but we will definitely have more blood tests. I will also give you some more information. You can read about diabetes, and you can, if you have any questions, you can come back and ask me. You're doing all the right things, and I'm very happy with that. You've lost weight, you're doing exercise, you're careful with your diet, but basically, there is some more we need to do. Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay, doctor.
Okay. So, yeah, it's nearly 5 minutes and a half. Okay. Uh, so, what was your feeling? What do you think? Uh, uh, were you convinced, basically?
Yes, I think I can win, because you told me about all aspects of, for example, disease, and to tell all my questions.
Okay. Now, everybody, now I ask you, what was different in what I did? I mean, what was the first part? Why it was different? What did I do?
Doctor, you tried to make a relationship patient, and you after first of all you ask from general occasions and not only the situation is his disease.
Okay, so I did. I greet the patient. Okay, and I established a connection. Okay, with the patient. Okay, um, so um, then what I did was I said, "You're here for the blood test results, aren't you?" Okay, did I say that? You're here for the blood test results. Okay, uh, is that right? And she said yes. Okay, so basically, I'm creating a connection with the patient. And then I said, okay, how's life? Is everything good? And then what did I do? Oh, gift wrapping. Okay. Okay. And right, during gift wrapping, I said there's good news and bad news, and then the bad news is that you have diabetes based on the blood test, and basically also what I could do better was that okay, what are your signs and symptoms now? Are you still having any trouble? Okay, and you actually you volunteered and you said that I still cannot sleep well at night because I have to go to toilet several times. I could have explored that, and that would have been much better because then I can relate the problem to the diagnosis, and the patient will be more convinced. Okay, and That was, we call that a cue, okay? Sometimes the patient gives you a cue. You know what cue is?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. A cue means just a hint or just a mention of something, and that is when she says, "I cannot sleep, and I have to go to toilet several times at night." Okay, and then I can actually explore and say, "Oh, really? So you still go to toilet several times? How many times do you go?" Okay. So here what I could do is to explore further, okay? And to say that, okay, so how many times do you go? And basically, is it worse than before or is it better? And do you still have to drink a lot of water? And questions like that. So this is something I could do better. And I admit, I raise my hand and I say, well, I didn't do that. Okay, and it was a good opportunity. So what's after that? If I did I say what do you know about diabetes? I asked for her her knowledge. Did I ask for her opinion on diabetes? No, guys?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I
No.
didn't ask her if she agrees with me, and that is the other problem, okay? And so we can say based on your signs and blood tests, I highly suspect, or you can say I am nearly sure, I am almost certain you have diabetes. Okay, right. So and I can say, and then I can give the reasons. I say you drink a lot of water, go to toilet several times at night, and the sugar levels were high in 2 separate blood tests. Okay, so I explained that. This is the reason I'm saying you have diabetes. And then I say, well, how much do you know about diabetes? So these are the two things that I could do to convince the patient better. Okay, so if I say these to the patient starts to think and says, okay, well, he's right. Basically, I have all these symptoms, and still the patient might say, no, I don't think I have diabetes. Do you think we could do more tests? And I would never say no. Or say, well, yes, we definitely will do more tests. And also, yeah, because I'm almost certain you have diabetes and we will be doing more tests. But we don't wait for treatment. And how much do you know about the treatment of diabetes? Or what would you like to know? Okay. So that was the first part, which is establishing a connection as relationship building. Then understanding and incorporating the patient's perspective. It means what is the patient's understanding of sugar levels? She gave me a cue, and I explored it. I incorporated that into the patient's perspective. Then did I provide a structure? I tried to, and I tried to question, pause, and to signpost. Information gathering, was that enough? No. I could have in information gathering, I could have picked up this cue and explore further. And then in information giving, did I give enough information? Maybe, but finally the patient was convinced. Okay. I did something else. When the patient was talking, what did I do?
Listening the patients and
Right. Okay.
show that you understand what he
Okay.
says.
Good. Okay. Right. So that this is yes. Okay. Right. Okay. So and I nodded my head. This means attentive listening or attentive listening skills. So you nod your head, you say yes, and you can say okay, all right, okay. And so when the patient is talking, after each sentence or in the middle of the sentences, you say okay. It means that I'm listening to you. Go ahead. Sometimes you can echo. You can say, the patient says, well, I don't eat any sugar. I just, and I exercise all the time. I say, well, yes, yeah, of course you exercise all the time. Very good. So this means that you're listening to them. You echo. You say, okay, you exercise a lot. These are the active listening skills. Right. Okay. Am I tiring you too much?
No.
No.
No, doctor, it's great.
No,
Thanks.
doctor.
Okay.
Thanks.
Right. So uh, I can't hear you. Sorry. Well, before we call it a day, I'm just going to say something, and then next time we will go on with the same thing. But okay, but remember, the patient comes to you with an agenda. Okay, when the patient comes to you, to the doctor, they they need or they want something. Okay, we call that the patient's agenda. Okay, have you heard of agenda?
Yeah,
Agenda.
no, or we don't know.
Yeah, agenda is the list of the things you want to do. For example, you say, well, we have a meeting today, and annual leave is on the top of the agenda list. Okay, on the top of the list. So, and so we say our agenda today is talking about leave, talking about salary, talking about lunchtime. Okay, so these are different discussions, this different agenda. Okay, so basically, agenda is what the patient wants or needs. Okay, they come for a reason. The patient comes to you for a reason. And what is that? And if the patient gets that, the patient is happy. If the patient does not get that, the patient is not happy. Okay? In the first consultation, the patient's agenda, I mean, the client, the patient's son, was to get tablet, a painkiller, and he was not happy. Why? Because you did not give it to him. Okay. In the second one, the patient has come in to hear that there's nothing wrong with her. That is her agenda. But you said that there is something wrong with her, and that's why she is not happy. Okay? She tries to deny. So basically, it's like when you go shopping, you go to a shop, you say, I want something, and they give it to you, you're happy. If they say we don't have it, you're not happy. So the same thing happens here. So when you do not know the patient's agenda, okay, with the agenda, sometimes we don't know the agenda, okay? Sometimes we don't know it. Uh, sometimes the agenda is hidden, okay? The patient doesn't tell you. And sometimes the patient gives you a cue, but you don't get it, okay? And that's when the patient is not happy because the patient says, well, I wanted to get something, but the doctor didn't give it to me because he didn't understand. Okay? So basically, what you need to do is to meet the agenda. Or if you don't, explain why. How do you explain that with the ethical framework? So this is how we deal with difficult consultations, like the two we had. Basically, we want to know first why the patient is here. Second, what are you going to do about it? And three, we try to understand the agenda. And four, to meet it and to give a response to what the patient wants. Okay? So in simple words, the patient comes to you, wants something, you give it to him or her, or you say no. If you say no, you need to say why. If you say why, you need to say because it's not in your best interest, or it's not safe, or it is not fair, or we cannot do that. And then just an ethical reason. And you say, I really want to help you, but I don't want to harm you. I want to make sure everything is safe. Now, for this lady, we show empathy. We say, well, Mrs. Smith, I understand this is a lot to take in. I understand this is very stressful and this is too sudden. But this is what this is. So you have diabetes and we have to do something about it. And even if you want more tests, yes, we definitely do more tests. But still you need to accept that you have diabetes. You can read about it, you can think about it, you can talk to me, talk to other people. Okay, so when you look at this, then you can structure. Now, how could we find out the agenda? What is the agenda? Yeah, if we look at the eyes, you will hear about this a lot. Ideas, concerns, expectations. Okay. And well, basically, agenda is originates from eyes. So the patient has an idea or a concern, means a worry, or they want something, they have an expectation. Now, in the first dialogue, we had an expectation. The patient wanted something. Here, she has an idea. Her idea is that she doesn't have sugar diabetes because she doesn't eat sugar. But what we need to address is that, look, it's not eating sugar which causes diabetes. It is something else. But it shows itself as high sugar levels. Okay. And then if we pick up a cue, like she says, I cannot sleep. If you explore that, the patient becomes happy. They are convinced. So basically, we need to meet the agenda, ideas, concerns, expectations. And if you do that, then the patient is happy and you get a good mark. Okay. So this is consultation in simple words. Okay. Okay. Any questions?
No, doctor.
Excuse me. Any questions?
No, doctor.
Okay.
No, doctor.
Do you have any suggestions? Do you think we should do anything different, or are you happy with this?
It's good. Very good. Happy.
Okay.
We are happy.
Okay.